dad always told me not to lend valuables to a partner when you're in a relationship. Always keep half an eye on the breakup, he said. You don't want to be having to get into a prolonged correspondence with your partner in order to get this valuable back. This correspondence could drag on weeks and months after what might have been an acrimonious breakup. Chances are you might have to get a friend involved, someone to mediate. This friend could be someone who's always fancied your ex. There's always one in a social circle, someone who's secretly coveted your woman. You don't want to give them that opportunity. They're going to have to exchange. Contact details, with your woman. It might be that she always fancied him as well, or she might be interested in doing something with this guy just to spite you. You don't want to give them that opportunity. This guy might be willing to jeopardise a long-standing friendship for one night with your woman. He may be willing to do that. So for the most part, I think I stuck to this pretty well. Didn't lend anything really of note to the ex, except for the iPod, that is. At some point in the relationship, halfway through the relationship, she discovered I had a couple of iPods. I had this newer model 80 gigabytes. I had one of the older ones, the earlier models, the nanos or whatever you call them. She discovered I had a couple of these, and it coincided with her iPod breaking. She was making a big hoo-ha about how she was going to have to save up to get an iPod. Not just any iPod, of course, the new ones, the more expensive ones. So I felt like I was in a bit of a corner, I had no option. I was going to have to lend her this iPod. I didn't want to do that. I'm not a very giving guy, I recognise that. And perhaps because I felt backed into a corner, and maybe because I wanted to ingratiate myself with her, take some of that pressure off, I lent her the iPod. I emphasised it, I was lending it to her. I wasn't giving it to her, I was lending it to her. So I lent her this iPod, and the look she gave me, it was like, it was a kind of look that said, this gesture is long overdue. And I knew at that moment that her getting a new iPod was no longer on the agenda. That was it, she had my iPod. The first thing she did was clear the 80s playlist, had absolutely no interest in listening to my music, had no interest in discovering maybe something else about me, in finding out what kind of place this music had in my life. Never got the iPod back. I didn't need it. I had two iPods. What reason could I have for wanting the old iPod back? I mean, it's not as if I had any songs to listen to on there. I mean, she deleted all the playlists. I know that to ask for the iPod back, she would have known it was playing on my mind. I know that wouldn't have looked good. She would have seen that I wasn't relaxed about letting her have my iPod. But I liked having two iPods. I've never had two of anything. Never had two pairs of jeans. Never had two of anything. I wanted to have two iPods. There was a prestige attached to it for me. There was no need for me to ask for the iPod back. I had the bigger iPod. I had the newer iPod. I had all my songs on there. It's not as if there were any songs for me to listen to on a smaller iPod. I mean, she deleted all the songs as soon as she got it. What songs was I going to listen to? I mean, obviously, what I could have done, and I'm capable of this because, unfortunately, I am capable of such deceit. I could have pretended that I'd lost the newer, bigger iPod in order to get the smaller iPod back and thus be reunited with both my iPods. But at the time, we were flat hunting. We were going to be living together. I would probably have had to come up with some reason for losing the new iPod, whether it was stolen or someone took it off me, or I don't know where it was. It got lost in the move. I might have forgotten this. I'm capable of living like that, but I didn't want to go into a new relationship lying. Imagine if she come home one day from work and she sees me listening to the new iPod. She's going to wonder why I haven't told her such good news. I haven't told her that I've suddenly found a new iPod. She's going to be asking me all sorts of uncomfortable questions. I won't even have got my story correct, will I? Not only is she going to be asking me uncomfortable questions about how I was reunited with the new iPod, she's going to be wondering why I didn't actually offer her the old iPod again. That's not going to make me look good. Basically, I'm wondering at what point did she decide that she was going to keep the iPod when I was trying to salvage the relationship at the end, when I asked for us to meet and try and talk things through. Did she refuse to meet me because such a meeting would have been too painful, or did she refuse to meet me because she was afraid she was going to have to return the iPod? I've never ever gotten back together with anyone after a split. I think once something's broken, once the trust is gone, there's not much you can do. It'd be so much pressure to try again. I mean, you'd have to try and avoid talking about what you might have got up to during that separation. There's going to be suspicion on both sides. As soon as you're on your own, you're going to be drawing up short lists on a post-it note, drawing a line down the middle, and making a list on the left of realistic targets that you can bang, and on the right, women who you'd like to bang, who are but probably realistically out of reach. You're going to be doing all sorts of things. You're going to be in contact with women. If you got back together with the ex, you're going to have to change your number. She's going to wonder why you changed your number. She's going to suspect why you changed your number. And I'm capable of going back into a relationship. Holding back on any new bedroom moves you might have acquired. I'm crafty like that. I could pretend, I could affect some rustiness in the bedroom. I know I can. I'm capable of that. But I doubt whether she could. She's too honest, and it could be something that I see her do with her hair, or she might lift her leg in a certain way, or emit a certain sound, and I'm going to be thinking, that's new. I don't like that. That moment is going to absolutely kill me. We broke up at the start of the year, first week in January, new calendar year. That leaves 51 weeks for the rest of the year. 51 weeks where, that's too much to expect her to go without doing anything. If we'd still been together, if we hadn't broken up till March or April, we'd have, been doing some stuff in the bedroom till the spring. She'd have had that to fall back on. After breaking up, she might have said, you know what, I don't rush. Yeah, I don't need to rush into anything here. I've still been getting stuff from Daniel, March, April. I can fall back on that springtime action. I can just spend the rest of the year regrouping, rebuilding, taking stock of things, get back to the sex next year. That's what I'm going to do. But that's not the situation here. It's too much to expect her to go for the whole of 2011 without any action. That would be too much for most people. They don't want to be growing old and in a few years' time look back at 2011 and think that was a barren year, and she's probably going to have some friend now who will be looking to introduce her to some new guy just weeks after I'm off the scene, because that's what girls do. Girls like to matchmake. They like to fix people up. They like to be involved at the beginning of something. Has crossed my mind that she could be on the way to see a new guy with my iPod. She's not going to be looking at the iPod thinking, oh, this is Daniel's iPod, this isn't right, this iPod can't come with me, it can't be there with, given what I'm about to do, it's inappropriate, it's wrong, it has no place in what I'm about to do. She doesn't think like that as far as she's concerned. As soon as she deleted those 80s playlists, she removed any trace of me from that iPod. There is absolutely nothing of me on that iPod. And it's going to be an exciting thing. You're seeing someone for the first time. They would have exchanged text, emails, pictures. They would have been saying, "I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to do that to you. I'm going to drill you this. I'm going to drill you that. I'm going to pound you." Words like that. That's what's going to be going on. My iPod's going to be going into that kind of environment. They'd have talked the talk. Now it's time to walk the walk. No one's backing off from this. No one's backing off. This could well be the rebound shag, and it's. No one's going to back off. Sex with someone for the first time, it's exciting. They're going to be wanting to see everything, see every part of the body, touch everything. They're going to savour every moment. Every item of clothing they remove is either going to give them a sense of awe or deep disappointment. But this is going to be happening. This is going to be happening, and my iPod's going to be there. My iPod's going to be there.